students, today we will talk about 7S McKinsey model. So we will see what McKinsey model is, what are its components, what are those seven factors, how to use that McKinsey model. So first of all, let's talk about McKinsey model. Actually, what this tool is. It analyzes firm's organizational design by looking at seven key internal elements in order to what? In order to identify how effective they are aligned and either they are allowing organization for their to achieve its objectives. So now the question is, what are those seven factors? Seven factors are strategy, structure, systems, shared values, style, staff, and skills. So in next slides, we will study what are these factors in detail and what is the model actually. So let me share the slide with you, then we will continue with all the details of 7S model.
So, McKinsey model was developed in 1980s by McKinsey consultants Tom Peter, Robert Waterman, and Julian Phillips with the help of Richard Pascal and Anthony G. Athos. So, McKinsey model was with the goal that it's required to show seven elements of the company, as I told you earlier: structure, strategy, skills, staff, style, systems, and share values, those elements which can be aligned together to achieve effectiveness in the company. The key point of the model is that all the seven areas are interconnected, and a change in one area requires change in rest of the firm for it function to effectively actually. So let's go to the next slide. It's all about the concept that I have discussed earlier with you. Now let's go to the model. As you can see in the model is representing connections between seven areas and divides them into two things. One is hard SS and the other is soft SS. As you can see, strategy, structure, systems, these are hard S, right? And you can see skills, staff, style, and shared values are soft S. Look, these all seven factors are interconnected with each other. All are interconnected with each other. So their interconnectivity is important. As we discussed earlier, if one area requires change, in the rest of the firm, other areas will also require change. So they are interconnected with each other. The shape of the model emphasizes interconnectedness of the elements actually, right? So hard S and soft S includes these three and these four components. Now, uses of this model or framework, where we use it, what's the purpose of it, why we do it. This model can be applied to many situations and is a valuable tool when organizational design is at question. The most common uses of the framework are to facilitate organizational change, to help implement new strategy, to identify new area new area which may change in future, and to facilitate the merger of the organizations. About this, how to use McKinsey model, we will have next session, which will be uploaded on the YouTube as well. So I would like to start talk on these seven factors one by one. So first of all, let's go to strategy. Strategy, as you know, is a plan developed by a firm to achieve sustained competitive advantage and successfully compete in the market. What does well-aligned strategy means in 7S McKinsey model? In general, a sound strategy is the one that's clearly articulated in long term, helps to achieve competitive advantage and is reinforced by strong vision, mission, and values. These three things are very important, as you know that. So the key in 7 model is not to look at your company to find greater strategy, structure, systems, and extra, but to look if it's aligned with other elements, other 7 elements, other elements of this 7S model. For example, short-term strategy is usually a poor choice for a company, but if it's aligned with other 6 elements, then it may provide a strong result. Now, what about structure? What about structure? What structure is? It represents the way business divisions and units are organized and includes the information of who is accountable to whom. In other words, structure is the organizational chart of the firm. It also one of the most visible and easy to change element of the framework. Now, what the system is? Systems are the processes, are the procedures of the company which reveals business daily activities and how decisions are made. Systems are the area of the firm that determines how business is done, and it should be the main focus for managers during the organizational change. So let's go to now soft things. Style. What style is? It represents the way the company is managed by top level managers, how they interact, what actions do they take, their symbolic value, and in other words, we can say that it is the management style of the company leaders. Let's move to the next staff. Staff is what is the element concerned with what type and how many employees in the organization are needed actually, and how they will be recruited, how they will be trained, how they will be motivated, and how they will be rewarded, how they will be compensated. Now, what about skills? Skills are the abilities that firms' employees perform very well. They also include capabilities and competencies. During organizational change, the question often arises of what skills are the company will really need to reinforce a new strategy or a new structure, right? So when you're looking at previous factors, you can see all are well connected. You're looking at strategy, structure, systems, and then skills, staff, style, and yes, the last one is shared values. Shared values are the core of McKinsey 7S model. They are the norms and standards that guide employee behavior and company actions, as these are the foundations of every organization. So, the authors of the framework emphasize that all the elements must be equal importance to achieve the best results. So, the conclusion is to achieve the best results, you need to look at all the factors, right? Not only at one, because all are interconnected with each other, as you have seen in the model. Next discussion will be on how to use McKinsey model. So, uh, be with us and we will discuss how to use McKinsey model in the next video. Thank you.